Is the Bible descriptive or is it normative? Right? There's a sort of notion that the Bible as a piece of revelation is God giving orders to people about how things should be, about how to establish a way of the world. But there's a really basic Judaic concept, which is the world is actually the world was created by the blueprint that is the Bible, right? Which is that the world is actually built after the roadmap. And so what we're reading here is actually descriptive rather than normative. It's not as though we're trying to change, the Bible changes the world as much as the Bible describes the world, and if you wish to live in accordance with the best possible reality that already exists in the world, you're going to live according to the precepts of the Bible. And so when we're talking about God wanting or God needing or any of the romantic language that's used throughout, Shir HaShirim, right? The Song of Songs is it's a love song. It's an actual erotic love song about the relationship between God and the Jewish people. And does that mean that God literally wants to make love to the Jews, or the Jews literally want to make love to God? Not really, but it's the best analog that we can make. And the thing that elicits what God truly wants of us, right? Which is that emotional response to Him, that abiding passion that we should have for Him, even if He doesn't have quite the same kind of thing, right? There's always going to be, we're about to see, right?
Well,
we're only going to be able to see His back. We can't see His face.
If God really does have wants, then I will repeat something I heard many years ago from a rabbi who asked the audience, so who's the most tragic figure in the Bible? And everybody threw out a name, and he said, oh, I'll tell you who, God.
Correct.
And that has always obviously stuck with me. If God has feelings, I actually feel bad for Him. I'm not being cute, I'm being literal, because He looks upon the creature He had the most faith that He did good with, were the only day, the creation of man, that God said, and He saw it was very good, not just good. And it says, God got sad unto His heart when He looked at the human being in Genesis. So I just want to throw that out. I feel bad for God, and I mean it literally.
It's also the best way to live, meaning that if the Bible is describing the best way to live, then the best way to live is to live as though you have the capacity to harm the world, right? As though you have that capacity to make God sad. And it also explains why, in Judaism, I mentioned briefly in the last episode, how Judaism says that you're supposed to both fear God and love God, right? In the Hebrew, it's ahavat shemayim and yirat shemayim, right? You're supposed to love God and fear God. And how do you do both of those things at the same time? And an answer that I heard one time that I thought was quite beautiful is the same way that you love and fear your parents, meaning that you love them so much that you fear harming them. You fear hurting them, right? When you love people, you know where all their vulnerabilities are, and that's deliberately where you don't prey on them, right? If you really don't love somebody, you know where the vulnerabilities are and you prey on those vulnerabilities, and that's how you destroy relationships. But if you actually want to have the best relationship with someone, you love them and you fear them, but you don't fear what they're going to do to you. You fear what you could do to them. And I think that's how you find the unity of love and fear is in exactly this, recognizing that God is desperate to be with us. God is desperate to experience with us the joys of the world that He's created for us. And
so the notion that God created the human being because He was lonely does not strike you as odd? I've heard that, and I've never known how to react to it. God got lonely?
Again,
but
I think all this is
maybe that's
analogical,
true,
right? This is Maimonides.
Maimonides just says it's all an analogy. It's no more absurd than any other explanation.
But wait, if it's all an analogy, then He didn't get lonely. An analogy is not the same as reality.
Because but the Bible is constantly speaking in analogical. God doesn't have hands either, right?
I don't have a problem with that, but then we can't have, I don't think we could have our cake and eat it. If it's all analogy, it's not real.
It's not analogy.